So it's been a while, unfortunately, and I have no other excuse except for I've been in school and there's a lot going on. So here we go. So, one of my favorite things to do is to watch this one channel on YouTube that has stories regarding what could be the backstory for many different fairy tales and folk tales that are slightly salacious or darker or more sexy, but in a bad way, and so on and so forth, and hidden messages and death and sex and taxes. Oh my! So here we go with something. Now, we've all heard about Peter Pumpkin Eater. Peter Pumpkin Eater had a wife and couldn't keep her, so he put her in a pumpkin shell, and there he kept her very well. Now, there's a lot going on there. Like, did he get a divorce? Was she a murder victim? Etc., etc. So, I had a little theory for a little while about Peter Abelard, who was a doctor of the church, but he had an affair with a lady named Heloise, and her family was not too happy, and he ended up losing his trouble puffs, but he ended up spending the rest of his life really just writing and getting all up in that religion. Heloise was also doing her thing. Their letters, including their love letters, are famous and or infamous. And it's so, could the pumpkin be a convent? And could not being able to keep her also involve Peter's trouble puffs? As in, they probably ended up somewhere unappealing. So there we go. So the story goes something like Heloise apparently was living at her uncle's, doing that kind of thing. She ended up kind of marrying Peter, but not in the way that we think of marriage today. When her uncle found out, he was a bit annoyed, but Heloise is like, nah, no, not like that. But Uncle Fulbert was very aggressive, and so on and so forth. So Peter Abelard sent her to a convent, and so on and so forth. She ended up enjoying the convent and never really linked back up physically with Peter. But apparently they did have a child named Astrolabe. So they ended up being cloistered, etc., etc. And so I don't believe that Peter Pumpkin Eater was about a doctor of the church who had an affair with a pretty young maiden and giving her a child. I really don't necessarily believe that the pumpkin is necessarily a convent, or at least it wasn't for this particular woman. And that is not the way to handle something like this. One does not remove one's trouble puffs to avoid scandal. But anyway, so happy Halloween. You are loved. I am so sorry it's been so long. I'm still here. If you have any questions regarding epilepsy or history or weirdery, please just bring me the weirdery. If you have questions regarding food or a weird rash, take that to your doctor. I'm just a dietetics major. I am not yet a dietitian. But anyway, you are loved. Take good care of yourselves and be awesome.